Welcome back, History Hunters. Today we are unearthing something truly remarkable from the archives, the rarely seen solemn grandeur of a presidential funeral from nearly a century ago. We are talking about the farewell to a man who literally shaped American law and politics like no other, President William Howard Taft. When you think of presidential burials, what comes to mind? Arlington, Grant's tomb? Well, Taft's funeral in March 1930 was not just a major national event, it marked a significant first in presidential history, and it's packed with details that have largely been forgotten. Get ready to dive deep into the last days, the elaborate final journey, and the enduring legacy of President Taft. William Howard Taft, a name synonymous with both executive and judicial power. He served as the 27th President of the United States from 1909 to 1913, but that wasn't enough for Taft. After his presidency, he achieved something different. He was appointed Chief Justice of the Supreme Court by President Harding on June 30th, 1921, and served until February 3rd, 1930. He remains the only person in U.S. history to have held both these highest offices, a truly remarkable career. But even a man as robust and dedicated as Taft couldn't escape the toll of time and health. By the early 1930s, his health was failing rapidly. He resigned from the Supreme Court on February 3rd, 1930, a mere 5 weeks before his passing. He had been suffering from heart disease and high blood pressure, and he and his considerable weight throughout his life had undoubtedly put a strain on his system. Taft was known for his love of food, a trait that, while endearing to some, contributed to his health struggles. And here's a little-known fact that speaks volumes about his health. At one point during his presidency, a rumor was started that he got stuck in a White House bathtub. But this is a myth that has endured for decades. The fact is, he was so big, he actually had to order a custom, oversized tub and have it installed in the White House. The Taft bathtub is not in the White House anymore and was removed during the 1952 renovation. But a replica exists at the Smithsonian. The original bathtub's whereabouts is unknown. I once stumbled upon a bathtub in a historical museum in Keystone, South Dakota, which ironically is where Mount Rushmore is today. The museum claimed that this bathtub was specially made for Taft that he sent before his presidential visit, and he left it behind. The tub on display didn't look that big to me, but I'm not an expert on antique bathtubs. He was in the Black Hills in October 1911 during a nationwide tour, stopping in towns like Rapid City, Deadwood, and Lead to meet citizens, tour the famous Homestake Mine, and give speeches, marking the first time a sitting president visited the Black Hills. Taft passed away peacefully at his home on Wyoming Avenue in Washington, D.C. on March 8, 1930, at the age of 72. He was survived by his beloved wife, Helen, and their 3 children, Robert A. Taft, Helen Taft Manning, and Charles P. Taft II. The nation mourned, and our footage begins on March 11, 1930, documenting the solemn procession. From his home on Wyoming Avenue, a caisson draped in the American flag carried Taft's body. This was no ordinary journey. It was a testament to the respect and honor due to a former president and Chief Justice. The streets of Washington, D.C. were lined with somber citizens, all paying their final respects as the procession made its way to the U.S. Capitol. I want to stop for a second to talk about a fun side note. See the flag being carried by the accompanying Army unit? This is the flag of Troop E and F Cavalry of Fort Myers, Virginia. This unit is also known as the Brave Rifles, which is a historic U.S. Army regiment with a long history of service that dates back to 1846. This mounted rifleman unit is in this picture of the assault on Chapultepec on September 13, 1847, which was a decisive battle during the Mexican-American War. When I first saw this picture of the battle, I realized I have been all over the park that exists there now and had no idea this battle was fought there. Today, it is a park which is famous for its Aztec and Montezuma history. Montezuma's imagery and some of his ruins are all over the park. This castle in the picture is still there today. What is really interesting is the fierce assault featured U.S. Marines against the Mexicans, which resulted in an American victory, paving the way for the fall of the Mexican capital and a major turning point towards the U.S. win in the war. This battle forever is immortalized in the opening lines of the Marines' hymn that commemorates significant early Marine Corps battles. You know the one, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of AAA. So let's get back to the Taft funeral from our left turn. The Capitol Rotunda, a place usually bustling with political activity, became a chamber of quiet reverence. Taft's body laid in state, allowing thousands of Americans to file past and pay their respects. This tradition of laying in state in the Capitol Rotunda is reserved for only the most distinguished Americans, and Taft, having held the highest executive and judicial offices, certainly qualified. The sheer number of people who came to honor him speaks volumes about the impact on the nation. Following the public viewing, the caisson once again bore his coffin, this time to All Souls Unitarian Church for the funeral services. The ceremony was a dignified affair, attended by President Hoover, members of Congress, the Supreme Court, and other dignitaries. The nation truly paused to acknowledge the passing of this giant of American history. And now for a significant piece of history often overlooked. This is where Taft makes another mark, even in death. William Howard Taft was the first president to be buried in Arlington. Think about that for a moment. Before him, presidents were laid to rest in their home states, or other designated sites. Why Arlington? Well, Taft had a distinguished career in public service, not just as a president and a chief justice, but also as a federal judge and Secretary of War. His extensive government service qualified him for burial there. Moreover, his family desired a national burial befitting his stature. He paved the way for future presidents like John F. Kennedy to be interred in this hallowed ground. As the entourage passed the gates at Arlington, the first gun of the 21-gun presidential salute echoed from Fort Myers across the Potomac. 3 sharp volleys by a firing squad concluded the ceremony at the grave. His grave, a simple and elegant monument, stands as a testament to a life dedicated to public service. Surrounding him are the graves of thousands of other brave Americans who served their country. It is a powerful symbol of his place within the fabric of American history, not just as a president, but as a servant of the nation. Thank you for joining us today. We invite you to watch all our videos, from famous funerals to diving into the archives, to find generations of history. And always please remember to be kind in everything you do, including the comments you make.